Today, the Chairman William Rogers of the Presidential Shuttle Investigating Commission pronounced NASA's decision-making process flawed. Today, officials of NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center struck back. Lynn Scher reports.
It's as if they were saying, no, William Rogers, you're wrong. We didn't make a mistake in deciding to launch Challenger that morning.
I'm not sure what Mr. Rogers means in terms of the decision process being flawed. I do not believe that the decision process that I know and understand to be flawed.
Based on the data that we had up to January the 27th and through the launch count up until the liftoff occurred on January 28th, that all the actions were proper.
As for the rubber seal, suspected by some as the cause of the accident,
we thought that the problem was acceptable and did not endanger the safety of flight.
But for all their avowed reliance on data and testing, it's clear from this week's hearings that NASA launched without the facts, that they sent 7 astronauts into space in a machine that had not been tested at the weather conditions on Earth that day.
We didn't have enough information that we could quantify the effect of the cold.
We had a problem with temperature, and it was away from the direction of goodness, and that's my phrase, because I can't quantify it.
We did not have a database from which to draw any conclusions for this particular situation.
NASA wouldn't launch if the outdoor temperature fell below 31 degrees. That's because the system, including the solid rocket boosters, was supposed to be usable in that cold. But Morton Thiokol had never test-fired their rockets below 40 degrees, and they had no data on how cold the rocket joints could be. Calculations indicate the joint on the right rocket was 29 degrees at liftoff. Today, outgoing shuttle director Jess Moore was asked why they launched without all that data.
That's a very good question, and I think that's a question that's got to be answered.
And at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, 1,100 workers were laid off today, the second wave of casualties from the explosion. Lynn Scher, ABC News, Washington.